Hi friend, welcome to Acre by the Water. If you haven't seen my other videos, I invite you to go check it out. I wasn't feeling super well on this day, so I'm going to be doing a voiceover. Let me know if you like this format. We're slowly bringing in a couple of boxes up the house today. The big moving day is starting to feel closer and closer. It's so exciting, but it's also stressful at the same time because we know we're not done discovering new problems. As for the mouse problems, you can see here, we've noticed on this day that the new poops that we were seeing, well, first there wasn't a lot, and we've also noticed that they're not black anymore. They're more brown. They look like sick poops, which means the poison is doing its job, which is very hard for me because I'm an animal lover, and so I'm not the one managing this issue. We know we'll get more mice here and there. We're completely aware, especially living out in the woods, but the goal was to block as many entries as possible and manage the exaggerated problem that we had. There was like 30 years of mice damage and urine and excrements, so now we feel like we've got the upper hand. This here is the last owner's dishwasher. We've been wanting to look behind it for a while, but we always forgot. We were so scared of seeing mold and water damage, but to our surprise, it was super clean and perfectly intact behind there. So we were now actually thinking of keeping it. So we're cleaning the outside of it. And Phil noticed a mice nest right on top of the insulation. So once again, a lot of mouse excrements. Plus the pipes had been Frankensteined. It looked super sketchy. We know mice had previously also been chewing some plumbing under the sink. So at this point, we didn't trust it and we just decided to throw it away. Plus, around that time, my mom told me she wanted to get rid of her dishwasher, and there's no one I trust more to have a clean appliance than my mom. Here I'm cleaning the cupboards again because I noticed some spray paint fumes from when Phil sprayed the basement ceilings. That old dishwasher will be temporarily sitting in the rundown shed. We want to destroy that shed because it's falling apart. There's like half a wall that's missing. So in the spring or whenever we destroy it, we'll rent a big bin and we'll discard of all the things that we want to throw out in it. We hope to keep a couple of boards from that shed. They're like old barn boards and they look really good. So we want to make some shelving with them. And one thing's for sure, we're not lacking in mouse poop department. There was a crack down there that was filled with poop. So like Phil invented, I guess, a little contraption to try to get all the poops in there. And here I'm just putting a bit of contact paper at the back of that cupboard because I was annoyed about seeing that brown spot. And we also discovered some more pee under the wood stove. There's 3 legs that had like coasters under them, like plastic coasters, and 1/4 leg that is actually shorter than the other 3 that had a little piece of OSB board. And I smelled it and regretted it again because it was soaked in pee. So Phil was able to lift the wood stove, which is very, very heavy. And we soaked everything with enzyme spray and cleaned everything really well. Now this is in the master bedroom. We've had a couple of suggestions for this floor that had a couple of floor tiles that got damaged by dog pee again. We can't afford right now to redo these floors, and it actually didn't smell in that room. Surprisingly, it's like the only room in the house that didn't smell. Unless you put your nose really close to it. So we're okay with just leaving the Kills spray paint on it for a couple of years until we can change these floors. One thing that was annoying though was that the pee spots were a bit elevated, like bumps, and I just know I'll trip on them. So we had to Krystle proof that. So Phil just used the multi-tool to make it all even and then sanded it, and it worked out great. This process made pea smell come up again, but we just soaked it in enzyme spray and let that dry, and then we put some Kills paint on it again, and it doesn't smell anymore. It smells pretty good in that room actually right now, so we're pretty stoked about that. Oh yeah, just thought I'd mention also for those who haven't seen our journey, the Kills primer is actually what gave us the idea to create a graffiti floor. We're actually really liking that idea. We love it. So, not surprisingly, we found more dog urine soaked baseboards because apparently it's a theme of this house. At this point, we are well aware now that the dog pee is probably, well, most certainly completely soaked into the subfloor, so it will have to be changed. This is just a temporary solution, like everything else, it seems, to make just the place more livable, more comfortable. As you can see, the floors, the floor on the entrance needs a lot of love. It has a lot of paint, and these dark spots. These are well beyond repairs. Even if we sanded these floors, we would not be able to bring it back. And we don't really feel like putting the work to make that the same floor again. So you'll see we'll just spray paint everything with Kills temporarily until we can change everything. That wet spot, by the way, isn't urine, it's enzyme spray. So here we're also just putting some Kills spray paint. This is all temporary. There will be gyps on this wall here. It used to be tiles, ceramic tiles. This ramp is super loose, so it'll be changed also. So again, this is just to make the place more livable, more comfortable, because I've got a very, very sensitive nose, and dog urine is annoying. We've also realized that the wood at the entrance also smells like pee. So yeah, it will definitely be changed, probably for vinyl, just so that it has a more waterproof properties for an entrance. But yeah, right now we've soaked everything in enzyme spray, let it dry a bit, and we painted with Kills spray paint for odors. So I'm happy to say that, like, as of today, a little bit later, it did help. It doesn't really smell like pee there anymore. I had a bit of Kills primer left in this bucket, so after a good clean, I decided to prime this dishwasher corner since there's been a mouse nest there. Why not? And also, eventually, I want to paint all the lower kitchen cabinets green, so I thought might as well just prime it now while I've got the primer and paintbrush out. I know these cabinet doors are not the same as the other ones you can see behind me, but again, aesthetics are not a priority right now, and we'll be the only ones seeing it, so I really don't mind that. And I also primed the old hardware holes I had patched with wood filler. Well, that's it for today. It's a pretty short video. We've been pretty busy. We're doing all of this while being self-employed also. But anyways, I'm leaving you here for today with a small clip to compare the noise and view from our apartment versus the house. These clips were filmed exactly at the same time of the day, both of them during the week. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and for your support. See you all soon. Bye. On this day, the first thing we started moving into the house was all the art room stuff and Phil's painting supplies because movers don't transport spray paint as it's explosive, I guess. And now today it was actually almost all of Negan. That's my pantry's name, by the way. Here I'm just showing the Kills paint that Kills primer that we took for the floors. But yeah, today what we moved in was all of the pantry things except for the food that we're still eating. I don't really want the movers to pack my home canned food. I've worked too hard and it's too precious to be moving it around in a big truck. So that's what we moved in today. So now we've got all the art supplies, art room stuff in the house and almost all of the pantry except the food that we're eating, like I said.